G'day, it's Brak here, and today, this video is the 4th episode, exploring which clan is the best. Last episode, in episode 3, we talked about clan-specific stratagems. In episode 1, we looked at clan cultures. In episode 2, we talked about warlord traits. And next week, in episode 5, it's going to be the last week, and we'll be opening up the Psychic Awakening book, Saga of the Beast, to discuss clan-specific psychic abilities. However, today, this week, this episode, we look at clan-specific shiny gubbins, and it's coming up next. Before we start, let's have a little recap. In episode 1, we discovered that DeathSkulls have the best clan culture, as listed on page 125 of the Ork Codex. In episode 2, we learnt that Blood Axes had the best warlord trait, as listed on page 133 on the Ork Codex. Last week, in episode 3, we were pleasantly surprised that the DeathSkulls have the best clan-specific stratagem, as listed on page 128 of the Codex. And so far, by combining the 3 rules together, we can see that the race to be named the best clan is as follows. We have Bad Moons coming in last with 53.9 out of a possible 60 points. Then we have the Goths coming in with 54.2 points. We have the Freebooters in 5th place with 54.5 points. In 4th place, Blood Axes with 56.2. In the 3rd place, we have the Evil Sons coming in at 56.9. In 2nd place, we have DeathSkulls with a 57.8, being narrowly pipped at the post by the boomers of the Ork world, the Snakebites, who get a whopping 58.7 points out of 60 so far. But what happens when we add the clan-specific shiny gubbins to the mix? Are there going to be any changes? Will there be a new colour on this graph? Will another clan become the leader? Will DeathSkulls get their 1st place position back? Well, we will just have to wait and see, as all will be revealed in due time. In this episode, I will be looking at clan-specific shiny gubbins, which you can find on page 131 of the Ork Codex. And as with prior episodes, I'll be assessing the shiny gubbins to the following criteria, which are: 1. Who does it benefit? So, does this rule set occur clan-wide, or does it only benefit one model? 2. How often can it be used? Can this piece of equipment be used for the entire game, or can it only be used situationally or once? 3. Does this rule set fit with the clan culture? So what I'm looking at here is that, does this piece of kit, or the shiny gubbins, actually make sense in regards to the individual clan according to the lore or fluff? So you have a look and say, yeah, that is so Freebooter, that's so Bad Moons, that's so Snakebites, etc, etc. And criteria 4, how cool is it? And as always, the rule of cool always is always supreme. And sometimes I do throw in, this is where you might find me talking about tactics sometimes, because that's sort of cool, isn't it? And I will be looking at each clan separately, discussing what the clan specific shiny gubbins gives that clan and giving them a score based on the criteria I just mentioned above. And I'll be giving each clan a score out of 5 for each criteria, so a score of 20 is the best you can get. Goff's the lucky stick. Makari was an exceptionally lucky grot banner bearer of the Goff clan who survived to the ripe old age of 9 before finally meeting his end under the posterior of his hulking master, the mighty Ghazghkull Thrucker. When the grot's remains were peeled off his boss's rear end, Makari's waving stick was reclaimed, hosed down, and used as an impressive boss pole. The rule: Goff model only. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by friendly Goff character models while they are within 6 inches of the bearer in the fight phase. In addition, you can re-roll hit and wound rolls for attacks made by the bearer in the fight phase. Using an old stick reputed to be the banner belonging to the dead Makari will give you luck and thus make you more killy. Does psychic resonance work on a stick? What the heck, let's go with it. Criteria 1. Who does it benefit? Well, any orc character who happens to be within 6 inches of the orc character who is holding the stick, or pole, or banner. So that can be quite a few if you're clever about it, because there is the potential that you can have all your characters benefit from this one. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. Criteria 2. How often can it be used? Well, during both fight phases. It's a bit of shame the luck doesn't go further. 4 out of 5. Criteria 3. Does it fit the clan lore? This is where it gets interesting. Before Saga of the Beast, I would have said yes, because it was kind of established that Makari was dead. But now he's alive, so that had me scratching my head a bit until I got the Psychic Awakening book and saw they made references that it might not be the same Makari. And so that stick could belong to a previous one. So, yeah, nice save. Nice save, GW, nice save. But close, but no cigar. That's a 4.9 out of 5 for me. Okay, criteria 4. How cool is it? Stealing a dead grot's pole and repurposing it yourself, I would have thought to be a DeathSkulls trait. However, as mentioned in episode 2 of the War Bosses of the Acorpalic, all DeathSkulls are looters, but not all looters are DeathSkulls. Okay, also, rerolls when in a scrap is bloody handy for a goth boss. So that's a 5 out of 5 for me. This gives the lucky stick a total score of 18.9 out of 20. Bad Moons, the Gobshot Thunderbuss, requiring an entire chest of teeth to be loaded into its breech before each shot. The Gobshot Thunderbuss Worky Gubbins plates its unconventional ammunition in gold before firing it to an inescapable cone of fanged death. Not only can this madcap weapon sweep away swathes of enemies with every shot, it also fires a literal fortune in teeth every time, proclaiming its owner's obscene wealth in the process. The rule: Bad Moon's model with the custom shooter, combi weapon with Scorcher or combi weapon with rocket launcher only. This Gobshot Thunderbuss replaces the bearer's custom shooter or shooter profile with the following profile. It has a range of 12 inches. Its type is heavy 2d6, strength 5, AP -1, damage 1, and the ability is that this weapon automatically hits its target. A bling gun for a bling boss that helps him display his wealth. For a tidy sum, you can get your hands on the best gun money can buy. Well, that's what it says on the box it came in. Criteria 1. Who does it benefit? Well, only one Ork character with a custom shooter, or a custom shooter with extra bits. Look, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Look, I'm not going to come down too heavy on one use rules. I'm not going to give them a low score because it's a shiny gubbins and you can only have one of them. So it would be a bit unfair to give everyone a low score based on the fact that, what the rule says. Look, however, I'm going to be awarding extra points for gubbins which give benefits to other units. So let's give this one a 4 out of 5. Criteria 2. How often can it be used? Well, shooting in Overwatch, so that's a 3.5 out of 5 for me. Criteria 3. Does it fit the clan lore? Heck yeah. Of course, the orcs with the most cash are going to buy the best gun. Plus it spits out teeth in a gratuitous display of wealth. So it's a 5 out of 5 for this wicked and gaudy gun. Criteria 4. Is it cool? A gun that has a potential to auto hit on 12 shots. When you combine this with the Bad Moon's rerolls of 1, what's not to love about that? So I am giving this shiny gubbins a 5 out of 5, thus making the total for the Bad Moons 17.5 out of 20. Evil Sons, Rezmekka's Redder Armour. Bad Mech Rezmekka formulated a type of paint so red that staring directly at it for too long caused actual retinal damage. So red was Rezmekka's new colour, which in a moment of inspiration he named Redder, that he immediately daubed it all over his best suit of heavy armour. In order to cement the reputation of his Redder armour, the wily mech built in a massive set of cable plug capacitors that could be attached by squigjaw clips to the engine of any vehicle he hopped on board. This not only ensured that Rezmekka's armour really did make his ride go faster, but also had an amazing side effect of electrocuting nearby enemies with an extremely satisfying zap. The rule: Evil Sons model only. Add 1 to the move characteristics of a transport while the bearer is embarked within it. In addition, if the bearer is embarked, then at the start of your movement phase, roll a d6 for each enemy unit within 1 inch of the transport the bearer is embarked in. On a 4+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Hooking up your armour to a vehicle's engine will make it go faster. Plus, there are deadly firework shenanigans involved, so what's not to love about that? Who does it benefit? Any transport the bearer just happens to be in. 4.5 out of 5. How often can it be used? Well, only in the movement phase and at the beginning of the movement phase, so it's going to be fairly unlikely you'll get the opportunity to give mortal wounds to the enemy unless you survive to charge. I would have loved this more if you could give mortal wounds at the end of the movement phase, so it's a 3 out of 5 for this red electric kit. Criteria 3. Does it fit with the clan lore? Evil sons are always looking for a way to go faster, and making it redder definitely helps. So it's a 5 out of 5 for this criteria from me. Criteria 4. Is it cool? Yes, I do like this idea. However, as I said before, it's a shame that this ability to dish out mortal wounds is at the end of the phase. Look, Orks could always do with more opportunities to dish out mortal wounds, so I'm going to give this a 4.9 out of 5, and this gives the Evil Sons a total score of 17.4 out of 20. DeathSkulls, Da Fixer Upperz. Originally the tools of DeathSkull Mechanic Frazdak, it is claimed that Da Fixer Upperz can repair any wagon no matter how badly junked it might appear. In typically Ork fashion, the sheer belief that these tools can work wonders often seems to mean they do just that. Derul, DeathSkulls model only. The bearer gains the big mechanic ability, which you can see on page 186 of the Ork Codex. If the bearer already has that ability, the target of the ability regains 3 lost wounds instead of D3 each time it is used. What self-respecting mech would not want a handy tool to help them fix things better? Criteria 1. Who does it benefit? Any DeathSkulls vehicle. And there are quite a lot of different vehicles out there that you can take. Mech guns, all variants of walkers, trucks and wagons, all buggies and flyers, and even deathcopters. So that's a 5 out of 5. Criteria 2. How often can it be used? Well, only at the end of the movement phase, so that's a 3 out of 5. Criteria 3. Does this rule fit the clan lore? If you put aside the botched job that GW have trying to explain psychic resonance in this one, it's alright, and it sort of does fit. Look, there's a lot of lore out there that says DeathSkulls have a lot of mechs, but do they have the most? Well, that's up for debate and kind of beside the point. I think looting on the go under heavy fire would make an Ork a dab hand at mastering your mech tools, and DeathSkulls are the master looters. So why wouldn't a DeathSkulls mech have the reputation for being the best mech? 5 out of 5. Criteria 4. Is it cool? When I first saw this rule a couple of years ago, I was underwhelmed, as there seemed to be better gubbins to use. But now that I'm taking mech guns and walkers, It's kind of an auto include for me, as it can help make any vehicle last that little bit longer, especially if you give it to a big mech. So that's a 5 out of 5 for this criteria. And this gives DeathSkulls a score of 18 out of 20 for this shiny gubbins. Snakebites, Brogg's BuzzBomb. Runt boss Brogg was the genius behind the now infamous BuzzBomb by building an oversized stick bomb around an entire buzzer squig hive. He created an unstable device that could be flung at the enemy to send enraged buzzer squigs all through their lines. Only once the squigs have settled down post-battle and returned to their stick bomb home can the weapons be carefully gathered up, usually by unfortunate grot volunteers, and which are pumped full of fungus smoke, putting the buzzer squigs to sleep until their fury is needed again. The rule: Snakebite model only. Brogg's BuzzBomb has the following profile. There's a range of 6 inches. Its type is grenade with 3d6 shots. Its strength 5, AP -1, and has a damage of 1. And the ability is, this weapon can only be used once per battle and automatically hits its targets. After all the attacks have been resolved, you can immediately select another enemy unit within 6 inches of the target and resolve 2d6 attacks against it with the same weapon. It's just like Snakebites to find a way to make a stick bomb better through animal, or is it squig husbandry? Criteria 1. Who benefits from it? Well, the person throwing the bomb. It's a 4 out of 5. Criteria 2. How often can it be used? Sadly, only once per battle, but it does have the potential to hurt more than one unit, so it's a 2.5 out of 5 for me. Criteria 3. Does it fit with the clan rule? Oh yes, it does. Snakebites are renowned for their squig husbandry skills, and there is a squig for every purpose, and because of this I give them a 5 out of 5. Criteria 4. Is it cool? Oh yeah, very cool. Bomb go bang, bomb go buzz, enemy go ah! What's not to love about that? So that's another 5 out of 5. This gives Snakebites a buzzing 16.5 out of 20. Freebooters, the Bad Skull Banner. Every freebooter war boss has their own jolly orc, a glyph banner that proclaims their dread reputations. Yet there is one ancient jolly orc so saturated with war energy that it has become infamous. Known as the Bad Skull Banner, this totemic flag is said by many to be the original jolly orc, the first of its kind, and the ultimate proclamation of a freebooter leader's might. The rule: freebooters model only. Once per battle, at the start of the morale phase, the bearer of the Bad Skull Banner can choose to fly the flag on its boss pole. If they do so, friendly freebooter units automatically pass morale tests until the end of the phase. A banner with enough war energy to embolden the hearts of freebooters to push on when things look grim. Criteria 1. Who does it benefit? Well, every freebooter unit that needs to take a morale test. That's a 5 out of 5 from me. Criteria 2, how often can it be used? Only one morale phase per battle, but you do have the freedom to choose which one, so you better use wisely. That's a 2 out of 5 for me. Criteria 3, does it fit with the clan lore? Freebooters being outcast probably have a tendency to flee the battle more often than an orc from any clan. But having said that, freebooters are known for their camaraderie, and seeing their banner they love fly high can and will stir them towards victory. 5 out of 5 for this criteria. Is it cool? Look, I'm a bit meh about this one. I can't shake the feeling that GW ran out of ideas while making rules for freebooters. 4 out of 5 from me. And this gives freebooters a score of 16.5 out of 20. Let's look at those scores. Not as close as last week. And alas, no perfect score. Okay, we have the Snakebites and the freebooters coming in last with 16.5 points. Then we have the Evil Sons in 5th place with 17.4 points, trailing the Bad Moons in 4th with 17.5. The DeathSkulls get a podium with 18 points, securing them 3rd place. In 2nd place, we see the Goths getting 18.9 points, narrowly missing 1st place to the sneakiest of gits with a 19.4 out of 20, the Blood Axes. Let's look at the running total and see if this graph has changed colour once again. Wow, we have freebooters coming in last with 71 points out of a possible 80 points. Then we have the Bad Moons, who moves up the ladder 1 place with 71.4 points. We then have Goths, who have risen 1 spot into 5th place with 73.1. In 4th, the Evil Sons are down from 3rd with 74.3. The podium looks really interesting, and it's pretty close as there's only 0.6 of a point between them. In 3rd, the Snakebites are down from their 1st spot position last time with 75.2. The Blood Axes climb from 4th to 2nd with 75.6. However, they were narrowly beaten by the luckiest gits of them all with a margin of 0.2 of a point. So that's the DeathSkulls get another 1st place position with 75.8 out of 80. Okay, well there you have it. What do you think? Do you agree? Am I just making this up? Are you going to claim bias reporting and fake news? Please leave all comments below. But yeah, keep it civil. Alright, next time I am going to discuss clan specific psychic abilities. So that means we're going to be opening the Saga of the Beast. So until then, if you're going crumpin', remember to bash early and bash often. If you like this video, please like, or you could share it, or subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you do subscribe, press that notification bell so you get to see these videos as soon as I release them. Also, Would you like to be social with Brak? Well, then you can go to his Facebook page, his Instagram account, and he has a Twitter account too. There will be links below in the description. If you would like to help Brak financially, then head over to his Patreon page and make a little subscription there, and that way I will be able to make these videos a little bit better.